Man, this guy is a beast when it comes to squatting up, closing your leads, and so much more, man. Yo, Daryl, my guy, welcome to the show, bro.
Bro, thanks for having me, dog. I've been waiting to get on Real Estate Unboxed, bro. It's a pleasure. It's my pleasure, bro.
Bro, been too long to have you, bro. So,
Oh, dog, it's an honor.
hell yeah, bro. So, if you guys don't know, Daryl and I squatted up, and we still squat up to this day, but we were squatting up in the boiler room. I mean, the trenches, banging the phones out.
Facts.
Daryl here is what they call a dog, bro. You got that dog in you?
Bro, I was born with it, bro.
Let's go, man.
No, that's real, bro. Like I always tell people, bro, like just that time where that whole summer where we would link up every single day and make calls and talk to sellers and just put in the work. Right. Like we would just do all the things. We would shoot content, call sellers, and we had no clue what we were doing half the time. We were just doing it. We were just doing the things. And what happened was we were feeding off each other's energy. We're learning from each other. I was doing a lot more learning from you. You had more experience than I did. And it's just like, yo, I learned this. Let's try this. Let's compete. Let's have healthy competition with each other, and let's just crush it, And
Heck yeah.
I talk about that a lot, bro. And it was a pivotal moment in my life. I want to say I thank you for pushing me during those times, because there was times where you would freaking knock on my door and I'm just now rolling out of bed, bro, and you're there ready to make calls, and I'm like, shit, let's get it then, So
Heck yeah, bro. Shoot, I appreciate you, man. That literally same thing for me, man. It's iron sharpening iron, right? And guys, if there's anything that I want you to get from watching Real Estate Unboxed, the point of us here is to unbox real estate, unbox the secrets, right? There's the first gem for you and one you take from this whole show. Squatting up and having a battle buddy, someone that you can boom, 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 bounce up. That's literally how you escalate. Like, I can't think of a better way, bro.
I can't either. I can't either. Yeah, man, it's because not even it's just like, especially if you're newer, right? Especially if I recommend everybody who's newer to squad up with somebody who's been around the block a couple of times, who's done some deals, right? Who knows what they're doing. Because if both of you have no clue what the hell you're doing, you're both just gonna be in there. I mean, you're just gonna be in there just trying to figure it out yourselves, So at least have somebody with some experience. Squad up with somebody who's actually doing deals in your market, right? Find some people that are actually doing deals in your market and stay close to them. Stay close to them and work together with them.
Bro, what are some of the ways you find heavy hitters in your markets? Other people who got that dog in them. How do you find other people to squad up with and tee up like that?
That's a great question, bro. There's a few different places. Obviously, we met in the sub 2 community, right? So mentorships community is one, right? You gotta pay to play, right? People don't, a lot of times people don't like to pay for education and relationships, but that is, it just makes no sense, right? It gets you further. It's a cheat code to life, right? Like you pay.
It's so true.
Go ahead, bro. What?
Nah, bro. I was just saying it's so true. It's so true. Like I literally had this one friend in college, right? A couple of friends in college. And I was interested in joining a fraternity. I was interested in paying for mentorships and all of these things, right? And then one of them just looked at me and said, dude, like, you got friends. Why would you pay for friends? And I was just like, what do you mean? Why wouldn't I pay for friends? And I was so dumbfounded on why they would ask me that. I'm like, you're going to pay $8,000 to hang out with those guys. I'm like, yeah, they have skills that I don't have. They know things that I don't know. They're connected with people that I want to be connected with. Like, they're in the room. Why wouldn't I pay for this? And that's just a sign. Like, those are the that to the next levels.
Without a doubt, bro. People still live in a scarcity mindsets, right? Like they'd rather go through it themselves. And I guess they don't see the value in it. But the value in paying for mentorships, paying for relationships is one, right? You're getting access to resources, which you need to have resources in life, right? The more resources you have, the more powerful you are, right? The more valuable you are, the more resources you have. And two, you're paying for somebody else. You're paying to bypass somebody else's mistakes, right? So our mentor Pace, he's made all the mistakes that you can think of, probably.
Yep.
Right? He's made so many mistakes. He's been in the business for 10 plus years, 20 plus years, right? He's bound to have mistakes, right? When we pay for this mentorship, when we run into a problem like that, we can just go to him and say, hey, I have a problem. Have you been through this? Right? And he's like, oh, that's easy, right? You could be freaking out. You think it's the end of the world about to happen. But the fact that your mentor has already been through it or know somebody who's been through it, they can point you in the right direction. And if you haven't paid for that relationship, there's no way that you can get that close to that person on a regular basis, you know?
Bro, it's so true. Like, even think about where we're at in our business now. Like, the way we squad up and who we squad up with has all come from paying for mentorships, right? Paying to get in the room, paying to go to an event, paying to literally be in a group of people that some of whom have become like our best friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talk to you every other day, you know, and I paid to be your friend.
Pretty much, bro. Pretty much same, right? It's so crucial. So I would say one, mentorships for sure. Two, in-person meetups, right? Like, you go to in-person meetups in your local area. They happen every month, every week almost, right? I remember when I first started, I didn't think that these types of meetups were happening or these type of people were actually, doing real estate in my market. I thought I was the only person. I thought I was the only person in the DMV who was wholesaling at the time. You know what I'm saying? But then you quickly realize that there's real estate agents, flippers, wholesalers who go to these meetups and they mastermind. They have conversations. They talk about how to do this, how to do that, what problems they're having, right? And based on the questions that people are asking or answering, like if you notice the room, if you look around in the room and you see, okay, this many people are talking to this person and asking this person questions, they probably know something. You know what I'm saying? If you see a group of people constantly flocking to one person and they're asking them a bunch of questions, probably that person may know something. Right?
May know a little bit.
Right, just a little bit, right? So if you go to these meetups, you can see the actual cash buyers, you can see the actual real estate agents, the other wholesalers, and you go make a friend, right? You go have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, I'm doing this. Would you like to squat up or do this together sometime,
Bro, that's incredibly true.
My bad, just to finish that thought, right? It's 2023, bro. So you can be virtual and do this. You don't have to meet up and do this in person, right?
Bro, that's what I was gonna say. Like, literally the first role I had on any real estate involved thing is because I found it virtual. I saw a guy's YouTube channel. I messaged him. He ran a meetup here. Again, same thing. He had a meetup list. I got on it virtually. I'm still in Ohio at school. And then I literally applied for a job and became an intern from him virtually.
Damn. That's tough.
That's internet, bro.
Internet is powerful, bro. And that's the other thing, because you ask, how do you know who's actually doing business? How do you squat up people who's doing business? Take a look at their social media. Social media doesn't tell the whole story now, right? Like, you'll see there's a lot of people who post on social media who aren't really doing the business, right? Like, they may just be doing things for social media, which cool, that's a business too, right? But you want to know when you're vetting people and you want to actually put your money into the right places and you're looking at these people on social media, your time and your energy and your resources, you have to vet them and see if they're actually doing deals.
Facts.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about how do you vet people, bro? How do you vet the right mentor?
Bro, that's fire. Let's go. What are some ways that you use to vet the right mentor? So for me, when I was going to that first role, where I was looking for someone, again, I was looking for someone who posted a lot of content, but I was also looking for real evidence of deals, right? Could they show me a HUD, right? If I asked them a question, could they like literally actually walk me through what I was talking about? Could they run through the deal with me? Could they show me what they're trying to teach me how to do in like a real world setting, not just theory? So those were a couple of things I looked for. And then other things I look for, were there other people that were collaborating with them in the business that were actually doing deals? Were they, other people vouching for them in the business? So those kind of things where was what I look for. What are some things you look for, bro?
That's the main thing, bro. Are they actually doing the business, right? Like, are they? One thing that the main thing I look for are they making majority of their money selling a course, or are they making majority of their money in real estate in what they're trying to teach, right? Because
Yes.
again, there's nothing wrong with selling a course, making money. Shoot, I got a course, right? Like it makes it. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you are going to be, in my opinion, right, if you're going to be teaching real estate, right, I believe you should be making more money in real estate, or have made more money in real estate, or have done more in real estate than your course should cost, right? If your course is going to make somebody a lot of money, go ahead, throw that course out there. But me personally, in order for me to call you my mentor, I want to actually see you doing this business.
Bro, oh my gosh. Bro, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that just made me think. I had one mentor that he's still out here. Like, he's still a real estate mentor. I won't say any names.
Nah,
But
call him out, dog.
bro, he literally would just drop courses, right? And it'd be valuable information. But what I found out was, when I met him, when I was talking to him, when I actually watched over time, dude was just selling courses. Like, he was legit. It's nothing wrong with it, but like, he couldn't help me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what he did just happened to work for him. It wasn't something you could replicate and scale and like have other people duplicate. It was just, he did it. He sold broken systems with it too to make more money. And he was just like a course guy. And I see him out here now. I'm like, ooh. And some of the ways that you're able to spot that out are a lack of detail. Lack of details, I'd say, probably one of the easiest ways to pick it out. So if someone's talking to you about wholesaling and they're always talking about, oh, cold call this and text blast this, and it's just like super like wide without any depth, like just information you could Google, I think that's one of the easiest ways to figure out, hey, is this person just flipping courses, or are they flipping houses?
Yeah. And then like you'll see too, like like one thing that is a red flag to me is, which may be a green flag to most people, right? Is like when you see it's them on social media and they have like the fancy cars and all this, and they're flashy and all this extra stuff, right? And again, when you're at a certain level and you're flashy, then it's like, okay, that's different, right? Like when you're on like Grant Cardone's level and you are hopping out your private jet, that's different, because I know that's your private jet. You own this private jet, like you make way more money in real estate than you probably do in your courses, right? But a telltale sign a lot of times is when you see, because most of the time, bro, like billionaires, millionaires, people that we look up to, they don't give a shit about all that materialistic stuff, right? But the people who are trying to sell courses, they want to paint that picture that they are these successful people, and they want to show all these fancy cars and all this fancy stuff. And you have to be able to look past that and see exactly, are they actually doing deals, right? Like, do you see in their content, is it them like doing property walks? Like, are they walking through properties? Are they talking to their team, or are they just saying they have a discount on their course, 10% discount on their course for the next 2 hours, right? Because I see so many people who have discounts on their course every other week, right? And it's the same old information, right? It's just the steps. This is, you do this, you do that, and that's the thing, right? When we say we're paying for education, we're really not paying for the courses. Like, I haven't gone, like, all the mentorships that I was in, I haven't gone through all the modules. We're paying for that implementation, that hand on your shoulder. Here, I'm doing this with you. If you have a problem, this is what we're going to do. This is how we solve that problem together.
And beyond that, I think in 2023, most of the time you can find 85-90% of the information out there. The real reason now is you're paying for that connection. You're paying for access to that community, right? Like, look at any of the high level mentorships for anything nowadays. The real value is not in just that person. It's really in having connection to that person, the other people they're connected with, and then the community that's there. That's the real value, because all the information is out there. AI is going to keep advancing, So that's what you really got to look for. And if you're starting something, so those are things you need to focus on and make sure that your community has to really add that value.
For sure, without a doubt.
Bro, because you see all the time, like people will literally fall for stuff that, you know, isn't legit. And you said it right there, bro. Like, are the people posting flashy stuff, or are they posting like actual real juicy content? Lamborghini doesn't have commercials. Lamborghini doesn't have TV commercials. All right. That's the last thing I'll say on that.
Facts. Real talk, bro. But yeah, like to answer that question, that I would say mentorships for sure, meetups, social media. That's how you can find the real players in the game, and you just have to look for the right things, you know, and ask the right questions. And once you ask the right questions, you'll be able to see if they're actually doing business, right? Like once you ask questions past the surface level, like Olu was talking about, like past the okay, this is how you cold call, this is how you send a text blast, all that good stuff. When you come to them with actual problems and they don't know how to answer that problem or they don't know how to solve that problem, then you'll know. You'll know.
Bro, here's another huge tip for people who want to find real people, right? Daryl and I are talking about looking for people who do business, right? So go where business is being done. You can go to meetups. I agree. Go to meetups, go to mentorships, go to masterminds. That stuff is great. Another great place to meet people who are actually doing business is your title company. So call your title company or a title company that's investor friendly and ask them, yo, who are the top wholesalers? Who's a lot of business? Who can I talk to about doing flips or developments, right? If you want to meet people who are buying houses and flipping them, right? Go to the tax auction. Those people there legit have money in their pocket today to go buy a property. And if you approach them the right way with value add, you're going to be able to build a connection with them, right? Oh, another one. If you see a project, if you see a flip, stop at the flip. I can't tell you how many cash buyers and investors I've met just from stopping at a project and talking to the contractors, you know, and getting a number for whoever's running the project, whoever's the builder. Yeah. So those are extra 3 places you could go to find people really doing business.
We've done that a few times, bro, while driving for dollars. We'd see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'd see a crew outside doing work. We'd see dumpsters. We pull over, go see who's in charge, have a conversation. I think that's the main thing, bro, having a conversation and just talking to people, bro, and figuring out, like, point me in the right direction, right? Just point me in the right direction. If you show that you're hungry, you go talk to these people who are actually doing the business, they'll respect that, especially if you're younger, right? Most people in this business respect that. That's what I've learned, and they'll try to put you on.
Yeah, and younger in real estate is like 35 and below. The old heads will show you hella love. So if you feel like you're 30, you're not old yet. You're still young. If you feel like you're 18, you got the fountain of youth. So go ham.
You'll be loved in the real estate community. People will look at you as like a prodigy, especially like not even if you're just 18, but if you're 18 and you have that drive and that hunger, and you're just like
that dog, right?
That dog. Yeah. If you don't have that dog in you, then it's yeah.
Gotta have that squad sauce. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, bro. No, but that's so true. Like I'm gonna be talking about that, bro. Another thing that I wanted to ask you, bro, could you tell us like how did you do your first deal? What was the process for that? And then how is that translated to you doing deals now?
Gotcha, bro. So my very first deal was an interesting one. It's definitely non-traditional. It definitely like I want to say it fell in my lap for sure. I didn't know marketing for it. I did nothing for it because it was actually my mom's house, right? So first deal I ever wholesaled was my mom's house. She was living here in Arizona. She had a property in Pennsylvania that probably actually grew up in, and she had tenants in there at the time. Tenant that was one of her friends. And we know that's a rule that you don't rent to none of your friends. You don't rent the family. This guy ended up taking advantage of her. He was just taking advantage of everything. This guy was on the run from the cops, and stopped making the payment. To my mom, she couldn't make the mortgage payment here and on the property she wasn't living in, so she had a problem. Right, so I'm like, Mom, I don't know how to solve this problem. well, I have an idea because I've been watching this real estate stuff. I've been learning about wholesaling real estate. And I know I don't need to get a contract, right? I know it starts there, right? So I did the best comping that I could do. I asked some people in the area what the house may be worth, right? People who are actually doing business, right? So I knew a couple people who were doing flips in the area. I said, hey, how much do you think this house is worth? And they told me, right? And where I messed up is I didn't just try to sell it to him, which I should have. It would have been way easier. I should have just sold it to this guy. But he told me how much he thought it was worth. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, Mom, I can get you this much for your house, right? And I wanted to make like 5K in the middle. And I asked her if that was cool. She's like, yeah, of course. Blah, blah, blah. Right. So get my mom's house under contract, put it on Facebook Marketplace, and my DMs were just flooded, bro, with buyers, investors, wholesale agents, everything you could think of. So many people were reaching out. And I had this thing sold and under contract within like 2 days, bro. Just from posting it on Facebook Marketplace. Ended up selling it, made 7K, right? My mom got paid her money, made 7K. But bro, I did it totally wrong. I I let the realtor, she let me and this is why it's so important to be educated and have a community, because I had no clue what the heck I was doing. So I was just winging it, and when somebody would tell me something, I would just, okay, I guess that's how it works, right? I didn't know any better. So she told me that the way that this works is she needs to send her own contract. She needs to get the contract with the seller, and we need to use her contract since she was a real estate agent. And I'm like, okay. I don't think that's how it works, but cool, right? It was something else that happened where something got messed up. I forgot what it was exactly, but she told me that we had to turn it around and get it on her contract. She ended up getting a listing contract with my mom, and she sold it. She brought the buyer, so she left me off the HUD completely. Yeah, she left me off the HUD completely. Right. The only reason why I got paid was because it's my mom. Right. So my mom got more money, but she paid me the difference of what I was supposed to get. Right. So if it wasn't my mom, I would have done all that work for no reason, because this lady took advantage. She tried to take advantage of me.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a crazy first deal story. But what I love about that is at no point did you stop. Like at no point was there any quit in you. You just persevered and you failed all the way forward. Like that's what I want everyone watching this to understand. Like the real estate unboxed, the secret is, guys, squat up and fail forward. Like that's the secret right there.
Bro, that's all it is, because you learn the most lessons when you fail. Right. So if I didn't go through that, right now, there's two different ways you learn, right? The smartest people learn from the mistakes, right? But the smartest people learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why we talk about paying for mentorship is so important, because if I would have already had a mentorship, I wouldn't have had to go through that. But thank God that I did, right? Because now I know that I need to control the deal at all times. It doesn't matter what anybody says. I need to be in control of this deal. Even if we use your contract, I still need to be in control of this deal, right? So I learned a lot of lessons on that for sure. It was actually a point where I wasn't even counting that as my first deal, because I don't know. I felt like because it wasn't like my marketing or anything like that, I didn't want to count it. But I learned a lot in that, and I helped my mom out in that situation. So I'm like, man, that's a deal that people need to hear.
Yeah, people need to hear that story, bro.
Yeah.
No, I love that, man. Lots of challenges, lots of growth. That's how it's done, bro. That's truly how it's freaking done, man. So after you learned all you did in that first deal, you squatted up with a bunch of people, you JV'd, you worked with other people's team, you got your own team. Where are you at now? Like, where do things go from here? Are there any tips that you could go back and give your past self? Like, let's get into the mind of Daryl.
Yeah, bro. So it all depends on what you want to do, right? So like, if you have to know yourself, All right. So if you want to be a closer, I say you need to put yourself in a position to where you can focus on nothing but closing. Right. If you want to do everything dispo, if you want to be the best dispo wholesaler in the world, and you're starting off, I would say put yourself in a position where you can focus only on dispo. Right. And what does that mean? That means work on somebody's team. Put your pride aside. And if you're just starting off, I suggest you work on somebody's team, right? Because you learn everything about the business, right? We talk about paying for mentorships, right? That's pretty much a free mentorship that you're getting paid for. If you choose to, if you work for the right company, if you work for the right team, right? You get to sit down and watch how they operate, how they have meetings, how they conduct business, right? If you're smart, or if you have the entrepreneurial mindset, right? That's what you're going to be looking for. If you have the employee mindset, you're just going to be dreading going to work every day, and you're going to be like, oh man, I have to go here again, right? But if you're at that entrepreneurial mindset and you have a plan, and you know, like in the next 3, 4, 5 years, you want to be the best dispo wholesaler, right? Get on somebody's team and focus on nothing but dispo all day. Right. Put yourself in a position to where you don't have to pay for marketing. You don't have to pay for leads. You don't have to pay for nothing. No systems, no nothing. And you just give your effort. You give all your effort to that person that you're working for the amount of time that you agree to work for them. And watch how much you learn. Watch how much you grow in that time. That's one thing that if I can go back and tell myself to do faster, and I did it pretty fast, right? But I would say do that way earlier, right? Way sooner. Go work on somebody's team, learn the ropes. Don't even worry about running your own team right now, right? Like learn the ropes, work on somebody else's team, and pay attention to everything they're doing. Whatever they're doing that works, copy it. Whatever doing that doesn't work, scratch it and try something new.
That's literally so important, bro. That's how I started off too. I started off on someone else's team, literally watching everything that they were doing, how they pulled a list, how they talked to Eller. Why would they use that when I know this one's better? Like all of these things I was just watching and learning. But not only that, when I had a W-2, I was doing the same thing. Yep. So guys, if you have guys and gals, if y'all have a W-2, you can learn a lot there too. It's I get to go do this thing, not I have to go do this thing. So when you're walking into that building, that W-2 or that role under someone else's company, look at how their processes work. Look at how leadership runs. Look at how they communicate, because all of these things are super important in a wholesale business too. It's not like we're out here just running a hobby or we're out here just running some weird business. It's a sales and marketing business. And a lot of it translates from other businesses that also have sales and marketing. What Daryl is saying is literally so key. When you get to be on someone else's team, it also creates another community for you, a tight-knit community where you guys can bounce off each other and grow together. Literally, like, I don't know, I did my first deal on someone else's team. I learned cold calling on someone else's team. I learned how to door knock and hang door signs on someone else's team. And I would have got those experiences, but it would have taken me a lot longer because I started trying to wholesale before I was on the team. But I was like stumbling along and I thought I was going really fast, but I wasn't, you know? And so that's another thing you see is like, dang, what is the actual speed of this industry? Oh, dang, bro. Another thing I learned, bro, you got to work Saturdays. Like working on the team, I had learned you got to work weekends because before I'm coming from the 9-to-5 college mindset, right? Young kid. I think I was like 20 or something like that. I'm like, I'm not working Saturdays. And then I lost the deal because I wasn't working on a Saturday. I was following up with the seller, one of my first leads for like 2-3 weeks. And I called her that Monday. She's like, signed a contract on Saturday. I'm like, what do you mean Saturday? No one works on Saturdays. Like, what do you? And then I was like, oh shit. So my mentor told me to work Saturdays. So on someone's team.
That's facts, bro. Because Saturday's money day. So many people answer the phone on Saturdays because they're at home, right? Like the way I look at some people ask me, would you call on Saturday? Would you call on Sunday? I just ask them a simple question.
What's the question, bro?
Simple question, bro. I say, I just ask them this. Do you answer your phone on Sunday? Or do you answer your phone on Saturday if somebody calls you? It's a yes or no. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like if I get a phone call on a Sunday, I may answer it. Right? I don't know. I really don't know, but I do answer my phone on Sundays. Right? It's not like on Sundays when I get a call, I just turn my notifications off.
Yeah, that's weird. That's mad weird. Like, who does that? Like, Nate, find me someone who does that. They turn their phone off on the weekends.
Yeah, like, it doesn't make sense. So as long as that phone bill is paid, we're gonna call.
Facts. We
we
locked up a deal yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday. Like, come on.
Exactly.
That was probably one of y'all's deals.
Right, and that's the thing, bro. That's exactly what I was about to say. Right, like if you're not calling on Saturday, guys like me, guys like Olu, not only are we making calls, but our team is making calls as well. So we have 4 or 5 people. We've cloned ourselves, and they are all making calls all day. And if I showed you my CRM, like the calls we make to people, even if they don't answer, right, like our follow-up system, you're gonna be like, damn, that's borderline harassment. Right. And if you're not operating like that, you're gonna be behind the wheel, because there are people that are actually doing business like that. And it is in their systems and operations to call on Saturdays. Not only call once, call 3 times, send a text, right? Like
they don't answer the first 3 times, call them 3 times 12 hours later. Like
exactly.
I literally tell my team, you know what question I get all the time, bro? How often do you follow up with a seller? When do you stop following up with a seller? Like, how do you know that? Well, one, I have it written out my SOP on my follow-up based on what they say. But the other part is I follow up until they die or tell every house that they know in existence. Like, that's it. That's the answer. They either die or every house that they sold or have connection to is also sold. Otherwise, they get a text, a call, something.
Bro, in my SOPs, it says we follow up until we buy or die.
There you go. Like, that's it. Because that's where the fortune is at, man. It's real talk. Bro. Real talk, bro. Shoot, man. So we got your first deal, man. We talked about your first deal. We talked about some of the biggest things you learned in your journey. We talked about you being on a team and growing and all of this stuff, bro. So what's next? What do you got on the table next? Give the people a insight into the vision.
Bro, right now, my main focus, like this year, my main focus is building out the systems, the operations of, not even building out, just fine-tuning my systems and operations of my wholesale business, and getting that to run, getting that automated, getting that to run efficiently with as least as my time as possible, right? Like I know I'll never be able to pull myself out of my wholesale business 1,000%, but my goal is to make me do as least work as possible, because I realize when I am the one doing the work, I mess things up. I mess a lot of things up when I'm the one working. So it's my job to not do any work and just come up with the vision of what we're looking to do and hold that vision in front of the whole team, right? And steer the ship. So it's what I'm really focused on this year is removing myself from doing $10 an hour tasks, right? $10 an hour jobs, right? $15, $20 an hour jobs, things that we can outsource, things that we can pay people to do and teach other people to do and bring them along with me. Because there's certain things that I shouldn't be doing where I could be doing more high level things, you know? And the goal for the year, bro, is bring this wholesale business to 6 figures a month. 150K a month is the goal. And I need that first M in the bank account this year, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're working on, bro.
I love that, bro. Our goals are literally so in line. You know, that's funny. Our gross revenue goal is 150 a month too.
Yep.
Same thing, bro. Like that's, again, guys, you see how like Daryl and I told you, we started off in the boiler room, following up, making offers ourselves with our own leads, right? Like doing almost everything, comping. Now we have people who run the comps for us. This week, next week, I'm training my property analyst who does comps at Mayo to do creative deals. Like I standardized the process because I was becoming a bottleneck. Not
Yep.
only do you mess stuff up when you focus on doing everything, you become a bottleneck. When there's 40, 50 leads or 7 people on your team asking you to underwrite a deal, and you also have to talk to 4 other people to bring in leads, 3 private money lenders, and go walk a property and talk to 2 sellers to lock up. You got to start cloning yourself because it's not even a matter of if you're good at it or not. It's just a matter of you're a bottleneck. And that's worse than having someone else who's 50 or 40% good at it as you. Like really. So
bro, facts. Every time I try to not even try, like, because obviously we like talking to sellers, right? Like we're really good at it. Every time I step into my business and talk to a seller, I mess so much shit up, right? Not because I don't know how to talk to sellers, obviously, right? Like if I don't close this deal and it becomes a follow-up, if I don't close it on a 1-call close, that's the last time I'm going to speak to this person. Yeah. I'm not going to follow up, right? Because I know myself, right? Yeah. I'm just not going to follow up, bro. I get busy. We have so many things going on. So me talking to sellers right now is not a high money making activity for me, right? Like, and that's me, right? So I have the team. So I have to literally stop myself from talking to sellers. Like, no matter how bad I want to sometimes, it's like, yo, I really want to talk to the seller and just lock this up. Like, I miss it. I had to stop myself, bro, because like you said, I become a bottleneck, right? Become a bottleneck on the team, and they'll see that I'm not going to follow up on this lead, right? And they're going to be like, shit, if Daryll doesn't follow up, why do I need to follow up?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I don't even touch them. I don't even call sellers anymore, bro.
Bro, I literally try so hard to like create barriers in between it because I feel the same way. Like if I get on with the seller, I'm going to be going full out, trying to lock them up. Like I'll stay on this call for 30 minutes to an hour if I got to. And so now I'm like, sometimes I'm tempted. I'll be like, yeah, I'll jump on. And then I'll be like, oh shit. And I'll try to like, hey, did you talk to so-and-so about calling that seller? Did you guys already try this? What was their last objection? And I'll just try to coach them and lift them up to a level to do it because I know like, dang, I really shouldn't do that. And it's hard, bro. It's hard. It's going to be the same thing with underwriting. So it's exciting.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. That's the goal. Like there's a lot of things. That's something I want to talk about as well too. Like make sure you know what you want to do, right? What you want to accomplish. And you got to start thinking more long term, right? You got to start thinking, once you stop thinking from week to week, like what am I going to do from week to week or day to day or next month, right? You need to start thinking, where do I want to be 10 years down the line, right? Where do I want to be 5 years down the line, 3 years down the line, right? And then what you do today should be dictated off of that, right? Everything you're doing today should be aligned with where you want to be at 10 years from now, right? And that's the meaning of having a game plan, right? And then there's some shit that you're gonna have to say no to, right? You're gonna like you can't say yes to everything, you know. And that's one thing. That's some of the best advice that I've gotten. And like this year is, to me, I've named this year the year of discipline. And there's a lot of things that I'm just saying no to, bro. Like no matter how bad I want to say yes, like other events and stuff. Like I got invited to go to Abraham's event in Tampa, buying businesses, right? Like I really want to go to that, bro. Like I really want to buy businesses. I see myself like buying businesses and shit like that in the future. But I'm like, bro, that's just gonna be a distraction right now.
Bro, that's the shiniest object I've ever seen, dog. I feel
like for me, right? It is a great thing for a lot of people, and I think it's in a great time for that business, right? But for us, right, we know what our goal is. It's not gonna be it's gonna be cool right now, right? But it's not gonna be as fun as when we have our wholesale businesses automated to the point where we're making 150K a month when we're putting 3 hours, 4 hours a week into it, right? Then we have more time to learn about buying businesses and actually buying businesses and stuff like that.
And the other thing is, bro, like it's gonna be fun if obviously for us it's different. For other people, go. Like that is a great event to go to. But for you, other people who are in a season of grind and focused on something else, for us, it's gonna be fun while we're there. And then when we get back in the next month, while we're splitting our attention and stuff between these two businesses, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be painful. It's going to sour your taste for both of them. Seriously. And instead of you having 2 great businesses, you got 2 flops, right? 2 nasty pancakes that are soggy. So focus
And
on your thing and
that, bro, that's so fact. That's such a good point, bro. And I do want to say that too. Like, I would love to go to that event, bro. Like, that is, if you're looking for something to get into, like, go there, right? Go to that event and learn how to buy businesses. You know what I'm saying? But if you are locked in, like we're talking about on a certain target, right? Focus, because it's going to be hard. You're going to have a lot of distractions come up. It's going to be hard to say no to everything, right? But you just have to know what is going to be a distraction and what is going to be beneficial for you right now. You know,
yeah,
not even right now, but into going on forever, right? Like into the future as well.
yeah. I think one of the greatest ways I've ever heard it put is just imagine yourself 80 years from now, 70, 60 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
What is that person going to be saying to what you're doing right now, or to
Yep.
what you're doing every day, day in and day out? Are they going to be thanking you? Are they going to be laughing at how stressed out over this problem that you're facing? Are they going to be encouraging you to go harder, or to focus on something more, or to give people more love, or give people more value? Right? Think about that person and what they'd say to you right now, so that
Yep.
you can reach your highest levels. You don't want to meet yourself at the end, your other self, and be like, damn, who is that?
Who is this guy? Yeah. Nah, for sure, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Sure.
But shoot, y'all, I hope you guys have gotten some massive value today on the Real Estate Unboxed podcast. My guy Daryl, my brother, thank you for jumping on today and sharing some gems with the people. Always welcome to jump back in, bro. You know how we do, man. Where can the people find you, bro?
Bro, my Instagram right here at Daryll Ellison. Dropping content every day. And then even on there, jump in that Discord. Oli, are you in the Discord, bro?
I think
Discord is
so, bro. I
jumping.
gotta get active in there, bro.
Discord is jumping, bro. We're close to like 500 people in there right now.
Good shit, bro.
Just looking
Good
to
shit.
just keep running it up and just keep dropping value in there, bro, for sure.
I love it, bro.
Let me come back on, bro, and I want to drop some like some more real estate sauce as well, because I think we went a little bit on mindset today, which I love. Like, we could talk about that all day. That's a lot of our conversations is like strategizing, masterminding, mindset, right? I think we should give the people like a master class, bro, on something. We should figure it out and give back to your people, bro.
Nah, I'm definitely with it, bro. We could literally do a whole Zoom this week, dropping gems. And yeah, everybody go check out Daryl's Discord community. I love that he started that up. I got one that's brewing here soon. It's bubbling, so we're gonna have like a community link up. You know what I'm saying? We'll link it all together. But yeah, dog, let's schedule something next 2 weeks. Do like I don't know how to do your first deal in a changing market or some shit.
Ooh, I like
Do a
that.
Zoom on that.
With that.
Hell yeah. All right, family. Check back in with us next week. Go check out my guy Daryl's content, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I don't know if he's on TikTok.
I actually am. I'm trying to get the TikTok going too. My TikTok's lacking a little bit, bro.
Nah, crushing it on the YouTube, y'all. Definitely go check out my guy's content. We'll be live next week. Daryl, my guy, appreciate you, bro. Let's get it.
Thank you, bro. It's an honor being on here, dog.
Let's go.
Let's go.